few of you have been asking for an update on the TRX4, so we got it back on the bench. As you can see, we got a few new additions to it. We've got clear windows, we've got an interior, we've got a driver in there. I've actually fitted a brand new gearbox, completely overhauled it for a service. And we've actually got some different tyres in there as well. I did all of this to get it ready for SST, but unfortunately after like 5 minutes of running it at SST, it stopped working. So we're going to take a look at that as well, see what the issue is. I'm hoping it's just that it's lost bind with the transmitter, which I've had happen a couple of times before. So we can have a look at that and get that sorted. But yeah, let's check out all the things. I'll talk you through how I did the clear windows. And then, yeah, we'll go through it all. And then if we can get it working, then we'll go see if we can find some mud and test out these tyres as well. So first off the clear windows, I've just done the front windscreen and the passenger and the driver's side front windows. I haven't done the rest of them. I've left those just blacked out. I didn't want to be able to see too much of the inside. I just wanted to be able to see that driver and a little bit of interior in there. So let's pop the body off and I'll show you how I've done those. Let's flip it over. You can see effectively all I've done is they're painted on the inside, so you just mask it all off, and then what I actually did to remove it was I got some of this graffiti paint remover from Amazon, which I'll put a link in the description to where you can pick it up. Shout out to RC Pie, I think he gave me this idea. I watched a video on his channel a while back. Yeah, so I ordered some of this, just basically spray a little bit onto a bit of paper towel or a cloth, whatever you want to do, and then you basically just rub away at the paint until it effectively becomes clear. Now you might be able to see, it might be a bit hard in this light, but they do still have a little bit of a red tint to them. I mean, you could probably scrub away at them for longer if you really, really wanted to, but yeah, that's the only thing sometimes you'll find is depending on the colour of the inside of the body, that it might leave a bit of that kind of tint. You can see, like, looking for that front windscreen there's a little bit of a red tint. But, you know, it was better than buying a whole new body with clear windows, because obviously you can buy something like the Traxxas bodies with clear windows, or you just buy them as a kit and paint them yourself. But, you know, I like what I've done to my body, and I just basically wanted to be able to see the driver in there and see a little bit of an interior, just to give it a bit more scale detail. Didn't take me very long at all. I was actually quite surprised at how easy it was to get all the paint off. Just be careful when you're using this stuff. It stinks, so you want to be in like a well-ventilated area. Or wear some gloves or something, because yeah, it's not very good for your skin. But also when you do spray it on, just spray a little bit onto the cloth, because otherwise you'll find it might drip and run, and then you'll end up like I have in a couple of places. You can see we've got some little bits where it ran there and obviously started to eat through the paint. Thankfully I've got some stickers and stuff there so you can't see it, but yeah, just be careful when you are spraying it on there, because it is quite potent stuff. So next up we got the interior. I went for the GRC interior, which you can buy from like AliExpress and stuff like that. You can fit rear seats as well. I just basically went for the front seats because you can't really see the rear seats as I haven't done the rear windows. You got a full scale dashboard in there. You can stick some of the stickers on there, the Land Rover stickers and stuff like that. You've got your gear sticks and everything. You can get additional bits if you want to do like covers for the battery tray and stuff like that. I didn't go for that because I just wanted to make it as easy as possible to get to. I did cut away a fair bit of mine as well, because in the instructions it was saying about you could get different arches for the body, otherwise you'd have to cut them, and I didn't really want to cut the arches. I didn't want too much mud spraying on the inside, so I decided to hack away at the actual dashboard and everything as well. So I just did that on both sides, just gave it a bit of trim and just trimmed it along the bottom here as well, just so it'd make it a bit easier for the body to fit. Now, we got the T1000 in there because this rig kind of likes terminating mud, so I thought that'd be appropriate. I'm a big fan of the Terminator films. Obviously he's being a little bit rude, but I couldn't quite get his fingers to stick down how I wanted them to, so yeah, you get the gist. But I did have to chop his legs off to get him in there, but otherwise he's in there, you know, pretty cool. I do like the look of it just with the driver in there, and I didn't want the driver to be like all scale. I wasn't so bothered about that with this rig. I just wanted to be fun, really. Now, if you're not familiar with this rig, I have already got a brushless Fusion Pro 2300 kV combo in there, and it's got some like brass portal covers on the front and things like that, with some like brake disc covers and like a brass bumper mount on the front as well. So just a few things to add a bit of weight. I did recently fix the, I think they were the Yeah Run G6 drive shafts. I was trying to... The original drive shafts had seen better days. They were kind of a bit kind of like serrated and torn and stuff like that from where they've been battered on rocks and things like that. So I really like these drive shafts. They're really nice. They got a nice bit of movement. They don't seem to bind, which is really, really nice. I did also fit a brand new gearbox to try and reduce some of the gearbox noise, but it didn't seem to make much difference. You know, I've done all new bearings and everything as well, and it's still really loud. So yeah, a bit of a shame. I thought I'd try a brand new gearbox just to see if it would make it a little bit quieter, but unfortunately not. You can see this rig is is pretty crusty. Obviously, it gets a lot of use. You know, I do clean it every now and again, and when it gets a full service, which is what it had recently before SST, I completely stripped down, replaced all the bearings and all the portals, all the axles, re-greased everything with white marine grease, and yeah, just gave it a general overhaul. So, you know, it should be good as new now, but obviously it doesn't look like it. And then the last thing we got is we've gone for these Injora Swamp Claw tyres. Now, I really like the Swamp Claws on the mini crawlers, so I thought I'd give them a try on the 10th scale. So yeah, let's get our battery and our transmitter, turn it on and see if it actually works. Like I said, I ran it at SST. It did work. It made it about 5 minutes around the ultra scale course, and then it just literally stopped working. It was on, but it just wasn't driving at all. So I'm thinking it's possibly just lost its bind. Obviously, the downside is now I've got the interior in there. I've got to take the interior out to be able to get to the receiver. So I'm going to... let's pop the interior off, and then let's do that, and let's see if we can get this working, so then we can go try these tyres out in some mud. The interior itself is just held in with like 8 screws. So you've got 2 on the rear there, and then you've got 2 on the front there on either side. So it's pretty easy to get in and out, to be honest. So yeah, we'll just whip that out quickly and then we can have a look at it. So interior is out. I haven't completely moved it out of the way because my power switch is kind of stuck onto it with a bit of sticky stuff, and I don't want to peel that off and have to get a new bit. But you can see you've got your stock steering servo. Now I am just running the 2-speed on this. I ditched the locking diffs because I just never used them. I just always had it locked. Obviously there we've got our receiver box for our receiver. I'm still running the standard radio, which is just your Traxxas TQI. You know, does a decent job, to be fair. Got my trusty Overlander Sport Track 4500 3S LiPo battery, so let's chuck that in, let's turn it on, and let's see if it actually works or what our issue is. Okay, so transmitter is on, let's turn the rig on. So you can see we're getting our 3 beeps. It knows it's got a 3S battery in there, but it's not giving the final beep. Sometimes you can see, just by here, the LED flashing, but you can't. So we're going to pop the receiver cover off. Let's have a look and see what the receiver's doing. To pop the receiver cover off, it's basically just 3 screws holding it on, and then it pops off. So let's turn it on again, and let's see what it's doing. Yeah, so we got no light on the receiver at all, so possibly our receiver is dead, which is not very good. So let's grab a spare receiver and try a different one and see if it works. So I've got a spare FlySky FSR7P receiver, which is a 6-channel receiver. And then I've got the G7P transmitter, which is, you know, decent transmitter. I really like these, you know, they're not too expensive. I think you can get them for like $60 or something like that. And they're decent little transmitters, really nice in the hand. Switches and dials and everything are nice and easy to get to. So yeah, so we got this, which we used on some of like the RC 4-wheel drive rigs. So let's plug our ESC and our steering servo into the receiver. So there we go, they're both plugged in. So now let's turn it on. Hey, there we go, we got live. So we got the 3 beeps and then the single beep. So now, if we hold the transmitter, yeah, we got steering, and we got drive. So that's a shame. So it seems like our old Traxxas TQI receiver has finally given up on life. I mean, to be fair, I've had this rig for a couple of years. It's seen loads of dirt and mud and everything. You can see it's pretty dry in there. So yeah, I don't know why it decided to stop working, but so I think what we'll have to do is see if I can fit the FlySky receiver in there, because obviously we do have the 2-speed servo, so we need 3 channels for that. And I'm also running the Traxxas Pro Scale winch on the front as well, so we need the 4 channels for that. Because instead of powering it off the standalone power, because I'm not using obviously the stock ESC anymore, I actually just connect it straight to the receiver to get power, and I actually find it's a lot more reliable doing it that way. So let's get it all back in there. The only thing I would say, if you do take it apart, make sure you don't damage your seal, make sure it's seated properly, because otherwise you're going to get water in your receiver box, and then obviously your next receiver is going to get ruined. So yeah, make sure it's all nicely sealed before you put it back in there. So let's see if I can get this plugged in, see if it'll fit in there. I hope it will, and then hopefully we can get this thing back in action. Okay, receiver box all buttoned back up. I did remove this piece here as well, so I could run the aerial under, just to run the aerial out. And if you're just wondering what size hex drive you need a 2mm for all of those screws. I'm just using one of my trusty Little Guy Racing Parts hex drivers. Really nice hex drivers, these. Again, I'll put a link in the description if anybody wants to pick those up. I do have a discount code for Little Guy Racing Parts. I can't remember how much it is, 5 or 10%, but that'll be in the description as well if you want to use that. So let's get the interior back in there, and then hopefully we can go find some mud and see if we can break this thing again. Oh, no, I mean, see if it works. While I got the interior out, if you want to have a little closer look, you can see you've got the steering wheel, you've got gauges on there and everything, you've got your dash and everything, you know, really cool little interiors these. They're GRC interiors. I picked this up off AliExpress. I think I got it in a sale a few months back now, and I think it was only cost me like $30 or something. And like I said, it does come with the rear seats as well, and obviously you don't have to massacre as much as I have. I really need to stop using super glue as well. You can see obviously all the grey staining there and everything where it's like misted with the super glue, but yeah, I don't have time to wait for like poly cements and stuff to dry, so yeah, I go for the lazy option, which is super glue, but obviously it doesn't look the best. So yeah, don't do what I do. Use the proper stuff, but yeah, it does the job at least. And you can't really see the seat and everything anyway when it's looking from the outside. I just wanted to be able to see something other than just black windows, basically. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. There we go, interior's all back in there, everything's back together, so we can get the battery on charge, and then, yeah, let's get outside and see if we can go find some mud. We had a little bit of rain, so hopefully there will be some mud, but either way, it'd be nice to actually run this thing for more than 5 minutes without it breaking, which would be really, really cool. I was gutted I didn't manage to get to use it SST, because I was really looking forward to running it. But yeah, I really wanted to get it working, because hopefully in October, I'm going to be going to the UK Scale Nationals, so I will be running this on the UK Scale Nationals. If you're interested in what the Scale Nats is like, then check out my RC events video. I've got a video of the TRX4 doing the 100 Great Trail, and yeah, it's really, really cool. If you haven't been before near the UK, I would definitely recommend it. It is a brilliant event. Oh, and while we're talking about discount codes and so on, I do have a discount code for the Overlander batteries as well. I don't have any issue with these batteries. I absolutely love them. You know, this battery here has been the go-to battery for my TRX4 for like 2 years. And, you know, you can see from the connections like how crusty they've been getting and stuff. Because, you know, this, well, if you know my channel, this rig sees a lot of action. And this battery is the battery that's always in it. So, yeah, you can't go wrong with one of these batteries, in my opinion. I think in the description I got a 10% discount code for Overlander batteries. So, yeah, check them out as well if you want to. Okay, we're at one of my favourite spots in the woods. We always get a nice bit of mud here, so let's just run it through. I'm going to pop it back into first gear, and then let's just see how it goes. We're surprisingly deep, this mud. These tyres are called the Swamp Claws, so you think we should be able to get through there. Nice. Yeah, you can see that new gearbox has made literally no difference to the sound of it. It is still a proper whiner, isn't it? So, but at least I tried it. I think it must be the axles with the portals or something like that. But yeah, it's a proper little screamer, isn't it? Let's go find some more mud. This next bit here is a proper bog. Like, you literally step in and you lose half your welly. So let's see how it gets through here. I'm hoping these tyres will be pretty decent. Like I said, they are called the Swamp Claws, so you'd hope good things for them. But yeah, let's just enjoy some mud fun, shall we? We're in the deep stuff. I think we might got it stuck already. You can see, unfortunately, the windows are just steaming up, so you can't actually see my driver in there anymore. So I think that's maybe a downside to the stuff that I used and the little bit of paint that's left on there. That's a shame. Yeah, he's not going to be able to see where he's going, is he? Let's see if we can wiggle our way out of here. I think we might be a bit stuck. You can see the front's full on just wedged in there, and I think the rear's the same as well. We must be beached on a high point as well. Well, normally we can power through it. Let's chuck it in second and just see if we've got any second gear. it looks cool anyway. Okay, man, look at the hole we've made in the mud, look, where it's just literally just churning it away. Wowza, that's crazy. Okay, I pulled it out, let's see if we can carry on. Give it a bath, shall we? It's a little bit muddy now, I think it needs a clean, but yeah, so tyres aren't too bad. Obviously that's quite a deep bog to be fair, but yeah, you know, they're alright, they're not bad, you know, pushing us through the mud I suppose. Shame I can't actually see the interior, mind you, when I'm mudding like this, I mean there's probably not much point having clear windows as you can't see anything anyway. One of the things I do really like about this rig, and I would definitely recommend for any rig, not just the TRX4, is going brushless. Like the ability to just chuck it in second and just send it, when you get stuck, just plough through stuff is awesome. So we got a nice little bit of kind of mud and water here. Let's just send it through and see what it's like. Yeah, I think I might be stuck. Well, Slipper's not happy. Either that or I've just broken my Fusion Pro. Oh well, that's game over, isn't it? Sounds like the pinions come off, or the spur gears pushed away or something like that. Oh well, we got a cool little mud shot at the end there, bit of a reflection shot. Oh well, it was fun while it lasted. I just seem to keep breaking this thing at the moment, so I think we're going to have to take it home, take it apart again, and see what I've broken this time. Okay, back home with the TRX4, you can see I've given it a quick wash just to get some of the mud off because it was pretty stinking. Now, as I was doing the walk of shame back to the car, I thought, well, it's probably the spur gear that's gone in it, or at least that's what I'm hoping for. I think it's the third spur gear I've gone through now. And to be fair, I keep just replacing it with the stock one because I figure, well, I'd rather a spur gear go than end up breaking the Fusion Pro or something like that, which I have done before. There is a video on my channel where I was mudding my TRX6 with a Fusion Pro in it, and I literally snapped the motor shaft on the Fusion Pro. So yeah, bit of an expensive bad day. But let's get the body off and then let's have a quick look. It's dead easy to get to the spur gear. We just need to basically pop the gearbox cover off and then we can have a look and see if the spur gear is stripped. So let's pop the body off. And then we're going to have to take our interior off again, which was those 8 screws on either side. Okay, so once the interior's out, you've got 4 screws holding the battery cover in. So you've got 2 screws at the front here, and then you've got a screw on either side just by here. Basically just unscrew all of those, then just wiggle the battery tray out. And so now we've got the battery tray out the way. We've just got 3 screws, one here, here and here, just holding the gearbox cover on, or the spur gear cover, whatever you want to call it on. So let's just get those off and then we should be able to see the state of our spur gear. Okay, so now we've got those 3 screws out. Easiest thing to do is just give the motor a little wiggle, because it basically holds the motor in as well. And then we can lift the cover off, which is easier said than done one-handed. Oh, look at that spur gear. If I could zoom, oh, that's, yeah, that's seen better days. Let's give it a quick wipe off so you can see what it looks like, but that's not a happy bunny. Yeah, you can see that's seen better days. It's partly my own fault probably, because one of the things I really hate about the stock TRX4 is that motor mount, the cover, because of the way it's designed, so that effectively they're all like fixed positions on the motor. To set your pinion to spur mesh, you basically just have to choose one of the pre-selected points and then put it in there. But
I find it really annoying because you just can't see what you're setting. You're just relying on obviously what Traxxas have told you it is. So I actually cut a notch in the front of the motor mount cover so I could actually see. But obviously you can see that has got full of mud. So yeah, maybe don't do what I did. As I turn that spur gear, look, it's just moving mud, look. Yummy. That is just literally full. Listen to that noise. Nice, that is crusty. Nom nom. So maybe don't do that. Maybe don't make a hole in your motor mount cover because you might end up with loads of mud in your spur gear and then it might strip really fast. So maybe I'll get a new motor mount cover at the same time as well and replace that. So there we go. At least we know it is just the spur gear. I mean, I'd much rather that than like a snapped motor shaft on the motor or anything like that. So yeah, motor's still good. So I'm going to get a new spur gear order. I'm not going to fit it in this video because I think that's enough TRX4 maintenance for one day. But I'll get the gearbox, I'll get the motor mount covered ordered. We'll get a new spur gear. I'm just going to go for a stock one again, even though I'm going to keep stripping them. I'd rather that, like I said, than, you know, end up snapping the motor shaft or something like that. And then we'll get this thing back on the road. I think what I'm going to do as well is I'm going to change the stock steering servo because I'm still actually running the stock steering servo after like 2.5 years or whatever it is of mudding and water. It's still working, but you might have been able to tell one of the things I noticed in the mud is it really struggled to turn the wheels in the mud once it got deep. So I did order, I think it was like a 35 or a 60 kilogram 9i mod or 9 mod, whatever you say it, steering servo off AliExpress. They had a sale, so I might chuck that in there and just see if that makes a bit of a difference and gives us a bit more power. But anyway, I'm going to leave it there for today, guys. I'll leave you with just my muddy spur gear. Lovely, lovely. Drop me a comment if you've got any questions. Let me know what you think of the mods. Let me know what you think of my stupidity, although it was good fun doing it. Drop me a comment if you've got any questions. Thanks for watching, and we will see you on the next one.